Hi, I'm Cindy Keith, and I want to thank you for listening to my third free tips video. Today I'm going to briefly talk about 5 things you must avoid doing when you're caring for a person with dementia. First, avoid overstimulating this person. That could be in the form of too much physical exercise without rest breaks, maybe too much noise or activity going on around them for extended periods of time, and that can overwhelm their ability to cope. And they're at a much higher risk for falls, becoming combative, or at the very least more resistant to you when that happens. Second, avoid telling them no or you can't anytime that isn't a big safety issue. Their brain has lost the ability to reason things out or even become reasonable. So if they feel they're doing something that's perfectly reasonable to them and you're telling them no or you can't in a manner much as you may address a child, they will see you as the unreasonable one and become very argumentative or resistant to you. Let's say your husband with Alzheimer's has been helping you weed the flower beds, and you discover that he's pulled out all of the beautiful irises along with the weeds. Instead of pointing out his error and saying, "No, stop, you can't," compliment his efforts and say something like, "I really appreciate how much you've helped me here in the flower beds. Let's take a break now and get a snack. You know, no amount of scolding will bring those flowers back." And you know he didn't do it intentionally. So as hard as it is sometimes, you just need to move on. Third, avoid insisting they do something they don't want to do. You know, if you or I were in their shoes and faced with someone insisting, we would likely interpret that as being treated like a child. And people with dementia can very easily tell when they're being treated like a child, and you know they don't like it any more than you or I do. You simply must find a way around the subject to figure out how to get them to do what you want. Let's say they don't want to get out of bed in the morning. Simply say, "That's fine," open the drapes, turn on some lights, possibly some music. Tell them you're going to be in the kitchen making breakfast, and you might just mention their favorite breakfast food. Tell them you would love for them to join you, and then leave the room. Return 10 to 15 minutes later and try again. If they've fallen asleep, be sure to greet them with a kiss and a smile, because they'll be much more willing to do what you ask if they're facing a smiling face. And of course, avoid reminding them this is the third time you've tried to get them up. Fourth, avoid taking their comments personally. Your loved one's personality may change, and you may find yourself on the receiving end of angry tirades about you or something you're doing. They may say very hurtful things, and as difficult as it will be, you must steel yourself to never take what they say personally. You know they would never say or think these thoughts if they did not have this brain damage. Tell yourself over and over it's the brain damage talking and not your loved one. Let it go. Last, avoid giving them multiple choices. They have lost the ability to make decisions, and asking them what they want to wear today could agitate them because they can't remember what the choices even are. Simply ask if they want to wear the red shirt or the blue shirt. If it involves food, and it often does, limit the number of choices on their plate to just 1 or 2 at a time. If they're presented with a whole plate full of 5 or 6 things, they can very quickly feel overwhelmed and refuse to eat at all. Simply preparing the food and placing small portions in front of them without asking for their preferences can work well. I have a lot more tips for problems such as these in my book, Love, Laughter, and Mayhem, Caregiver Survival Manual for Living with a Person with Dementia. Please visit my website at www.mindinmemorycare.com for more information about how I can help you. I hope I've helped you in some small way today on your caregiving journey. Thank you for listening to my third free tips video.